Il-Kunsill tal-Unjoni Ewropea fuq inizjattiva tal-Presidenza Belġjana adotta konklużjonijiet dwar industrija Ewropea kompetittiva li tmexxi l-futur ekoloġiku, diġitali u reżiljenti. Matul il-laqa li saret fil-jiem li għaddew kien reġistrat qbil il-tisħiħ tal-kompetittività tal-industrija Ewropea għandu jkun fuq quddiem net fl-aġenda politika tal-Kummissjoni Ewropea li jmiss. U dawn il-konklużjonijiet jipprovdu it-triq il-qoddim lejn ftehim ġdid ta' kompetittività Ewropea. Il-konklużjonijiet janalizzaw is-sitwazzjoni tas-settur industrijali tal-Unjoni Ewropea, jesploraw modi biex itejbu l-innovazzjoni, l-aċċess għal finanzi u l-ambjent tan-negozju għal manifatturi u jipproponu l-prinċipji u l-għenin sottostanti għal politika industrijali futura tal-Unjoni Ewropea. Nisimaw lil Margrethe Vestager fit-tmiem il-laqa waqt il-konferenza tal-aħbarijiet.
Well, thank you very much. I should only add a few things to this excellent readout. The first obvious thing is to congratulate the Belgian presidency on its results. So far, it has been very, very intense when it comes to finalizing legislation. The two conclusions that we have today, it has been a lot of work for the entire presidency team to get that over the finishing line, and by that also setting a direction for the next mandate. It was, I think, very encouraging discussions. I think the most fundamental things is that member states see that the green transition and competitiveness are two sides of the same coin. And I think that is so important because one could fear that there would be sort of people say, no, it's either or, we have to choose. Do we want to fight climate change or do we want to be competitive? And that was non-existent. Nobody thought that trade-off was the right thing to do. On the contrary, things should be seen together. Also because the task, of course, is that in the green transition, in the digital transition, to create the prosperity that is needed for the third strategic objective, which is to make sure that we have socially inclusive societies. And that, of course, entails that we keep producing prosperity, and this is how to see our priorities. It was also, I think, very much in line with the communication that we did quite some time ago on Europe's long-term competitiveness. In line of our ambition to minimize reporting obligation, we had no new indicators. We're using existing indicators in order to make good use of the data that is being reported already. But here we are indeed on track. This is not going to be easy because some of the things that we have ahead of us, they will take investment. If I should give you one example of how the green transition and competitiveness works together, it would be the electricity market. There is a need for abundant, decarbonised electricity, and there's a need for a grid to get that electricity from the production to the users. That is a massive competence to hold, to be able to build such a grid and manage such a grid and to enable the production of renewable energy. And I think that's a very good example of how industry and the Green Deal comes together. There was quite a number of very specific discussions that I think shows that this is a council that has a really hands-on approach. One thing I would mention is the work on having e-forms for posted workers. It's a work that has been ongoing. 10 member states are already joining. It started with registering that actually member states ask for 300 different data points if you put them all together. And here that has been slimlined so that in this e-form that will be available in all languages, you can register with only 30 data points instead. It's more efficient, it's more available, and it enables the single market to work for people working in different countries. We also discussed territorial restrictions. It's a fact of life that, unfortunately, many families, they experience a cost of living crisis. They need to see that the market delivers to them affordable prices. And here, territorial restrictions comes in as a barrier, actually, to that. Yesterday, we had the Mondelez decision, where we imposed a fine of almost 340 million euros for restriction on biscuits, on chocolate, on coffee, things that you would want to have in your cupboard. So competition tools are good tools in order to deal with some of the territorial restrictions. Other restrictions are done by non-dominant parties. And here, competition tools, they don't work if it's not by a cartel. So there was also agreement to engage in full in a fact-finding mission first, and then to figure out what tools are actually necessary in order to prevent territorial restrictions that make prices rise where they shouldn't. Also, I want to underline what was said about public procurement. This is a gigantic market. We're talking billions and billions and billions of euro every year. So that, to be effective, of course, absolutely crucial. And the ambition is a double ambition. On the one hand side, to make sure that we use public procurement strategically for our resilience, for our sustainability, for what we want to achieve in a number of markets, while at the same time making sure that we have competition as a driver for us actually to get there. That will be very, very interesting to follow. The Commission has already tabled 41 proposals to minimise regulatory burden, and this is an ongoing task that will continue. Last but not least, really important that the work for the green transition and the industry revival, so to speak, is something that is ongoing, but I think will accelerate with the conclusions made today. We have already now, I think, 8 of these important projects of common European interest where businesses are enabled to do cutting-edge innovation together with a pan-European perspective. We have the decarbonisation rules in the state aid framework to enable states to invest in businesses actually getting to the other side of decarbonisation. And we have the temporary crisis and transition framework that also enables member states to accelerate the transition of important industries. So all in all, a very rich day, I think a very constructive day due to the leadership of the presidency. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Min ma jħobbx jivvjaġġa fil-kumdità? Anke l-klieb qed jidraw. Grazzi għall-linja tal-ajru Bark Air, linja tal-ajru li toffri servizz għal min irid itir bil-kelb jew bil-kelba tiegħu. Għalissa titjiriet interni fl-Istati Uniti u waħdiet rari lejn ir-Renju Unit. L-ewwel titjira dik inawgurali saret fil-jiem li għaddew minn New York lejn Los Angeles.
Eat it. She won't eat in public.
Can Eddie have one?
Yeah, she gets like nervous.
Good job, buddy. Hi, buddy.
Bark Air toffri mhux biss trasport għall-klieb u s-sidin tagħhom f'ambjent ta' lussu, iżda wkoll sala ta' stennija mamra b'ġugarelli u ikel tajjeb għall-klieb, check-ins veloċi u anki spa.
He's mingling.
Like, I'm gonna be touch.
L-ajruplan jista' jakkomoda sa' 14 persuna, iżda Bark Air ma tbieħx aktar minn 10 biljetti u dan biex ħalli spazju għal 10 klieb. Bħalissa ir-rotot ta' Bark Air jinkludu titjiriet bejn l-ajruport ta' White Plains taż-żona tal-metro ta' New York City, l-ajruport ta' Van Nuys qrib Los Angeles u l-ajruport ta' Biggin Hill f'Londra.
Oh my God, look at you, Puppy spa day over Kansas. That's what gets the people to Kansas.
Il-prezz huwa ta' $8,000 għal titjira internazzjonali f'direzzjoni waħda u $6,000 għal vjaġġ domestiku għal kelb wieħed u sieħeb uman wieħed. Iżda dawk in-numri jistgħu jinbidlu kif il-linja tal-ajru tittama li żżid il-passiġġieri u bekk tkun tista' tnaqqas il-prezzijiet. Sissa, Bark Air irċevit aktar minn 15,000 talba għal destinazzjonijiet ġodda.
Oh my goodness.
Il-kumpanija issa qed tikkonsidra li żżid titjiriet lejn Pariġi, Milan, Chicago, Seattle u destinazzjonijiet staġjonali fi Florida u Arizona.